Okay. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me this morning. So we're going to be settling into the body and just making sure the body is comfortable enough to then be able to take little moments of stillness with a really lovely emphasis on breathing and finding that space to breathe and allowing ourselves to get absorbed into that moment, this moment. So when you're ready, if you find your way to a seated position, and then just, for me, close the eyes. Some people prefer just to look down at the floor. Whatever it is that helps you to kind of let go to all those outside distractions and start to bring the awareness inward. And some people are quite happy just to stop, to sit, quite comfortable in the body. But for most of us, for a lot of us, we take a little bit of time to settle, to get into that position, to get into that place. So assuming that we're in that category, that the body perhaps is a bit fidgety, perhaps the mind is a little bit active, let's just allow ourselves a few moments. So when you first sort of close your eyes, I just want you to feel into your body and just have your awareness scan from the head. And just let that kind of brush all the way down to your toes. And if at any stage you feel that some movement would be good, I want you just to allow that to happen. So it might be a little rolling of shoulders, or just a little moving of the neck, or the spine. And then after a few moments, see if you can just arrive in an upright position. So now as we scan through, I'm going to be more specific. So bring your awareness to the whole of your head and just think of it as this, what it is. It's the heaviest structure in the body. And we want to place the head in such a way that it doesn't feel like a strain, like an effort. So some of us habitually stick our chin out. Maybe we have a habit of tucking the chin in. So just spend a little moment just being aware of the whole of your head and seeing if you could just arrange it so that it's sitting just above or just sitting balanced on top of the neck. Not too heavy. And then let your awareness travel down the neck and into your shoulders. And imagining in your mind's eye the shoulders are just sloping away. And just without kind of going too rigid, you want to draw your shoulder blades back and down your spine. And then your awareness can move into the very center of your heart. And there might be a subtle lift here, a little openness. And now if you can you hold in your mind's eye the whole of your rib cage? So this is another pretty big structure in the body. And your rib cage is obviously very important. It protects the heart, the lungs. And it's also, for me in yoga at least, it really helps me to help find alignment. So head, beautifully balanced over my rib cage. And if you need to make some movements for that to happen, please do that. Let's carry on with our little body scan. So just feel from your shoulders now down into your arms, all the way to your hands that are resting somewhere on your lap. And then the rib cage, but then down into the tummy. And how about your spine? Can you visualize or sense your spine? And then we come down into the hips, the pelvis. So again, another pretty big structure in the body. And we're looking for the pelvis to be directly underneath the ribs. So if you can picture or feel in your body that beautiful alignment, like building blocks, the pelvis, the rib cage, and the head. And to help with supporting those building blocks, we're going to pay attention to our bandha. So the bandha are the energetic locks or seals in the body. And we're going to think about Mula Bandha. This is the root lock. So at the base of your spine, if you can maybe even just wiggle a little bit, you might be able to feel your two sit bones, the two little rockers on the floor or wherever you're sitting. And then if you can think about the front of the pubic bone and your tailbone making a little diamond with those two sit bones. And then imagine you can just squeeze them together and lift them. It's a little bit like your pelvic floor exercises, if you've ever come across those. And what you might experience is just a subtle energetic lift, this sealing in our energy, so that those building blocks, the ribs and the pelvis and the head, kind of just sit more comfortably perhaps. And then just below the navel, there's this scooping in and up of the Uddiyana Bandha, the upward flying lock. So you're still below the navel. Nice. I'm aware we've sat for a little bit of time. So what I'm going to get us to do is move, and then we're going to come back to here. So let's just stretch the legs out for a second. Just take them straight, out wide. And just point and flex the feet, maybe circle the ankles. Maybe take little circles here. So we're just letting the body unfold. So when you come to do these circles, you're perhaps very aware of your thighs, your hips, maybe your back. Let's take those circles the other way. Good. All right. Your legs can be wherever you want. If you're comfy with them outstretched, leave them there. If you want to tuck them back in, tuck them in. We're just going to move into the shoulders and the arms. Interlace your fingers, press your palms away and lift them up on a breath in. And on the breath out, sweep them out and wide. Turn the palms up, lift them up. And then just draw the hands down to the heart. Good. We're going to pop those fingers on the shoulders. We're going to bring our elbows towards each other on a breath in as we lift up. And on the breath out, back and down. So little circles for the shoulders. If it feels good, you can let the whole body get involved. You can kind of rock a little bit forwards and back. If you prefer, keep it stable. Let go of any tension. Let's take those circles the other way. So the elbows go back and up, forwards and down. Nice, releasing. Interlace the fingers, but this time we're going to cradle the back of the head, a bit like we're sunbathing. So elbows drawing back. You might want to feel the weight of the head gently resting into your hands. And then just gently drop the chin. Drop the shoulders and feel the stretch in the neck. Come back up on a breath in, open those elbows. And exhale, elbows towards each other, drop forward. Open up. And exhale. Nice, come back up to upright. Release those arms. Scoop the knees back if you had your legs outstretched. Let's come back to our seat now. Let's see if the body is a little bit more comfortable. Maybe, hopefully. Just take a few moments, a bit quicker than before, just scanning through the body, being aware of the head, the shoulders, the arms and the hands, the rib cage, the belly, the spine, and the pelvis. See if you can find that alignment, head over heart, over hips. Nice. So we're going to come into our first pranayama practice. So prana is your life force, your energy. So pranayama is the Sanskrit for your breath work that we do in yoga. We're going to start with the most simplest of all, just being the witness to the breath. So just breathing in and noticing that you're breathing in, and breathing out and noticing that you're breathing out. I just want you to follow your own breath for the next few moments. And if the mind wanders, which it very likely will, just draw it gently back to your breathing. Nice. Can you place your hands on your tummy? And now just breathe and have all your awareness where your hands connect to your tummy. Can you feel the tummy moving with the breath? Just shift one hand to your lower back. So you've got one hand in front and one hand sitting behind you. And just keep that breath flowing. Just feel the breath moving both hands, the front and the back. Nice, guys. We're just going to move the hands to our ribs to the side. So my thumb just tucks behind there. See what feels comfy for you. It might be better just to cross the hands. Just see what works, or maybe just have them at the front. Go into our ribs now, and keep that breath flowing. Just noticing how this very subtle shift of focus feels very different. So maybe the breath is now coming outwards to the side of the body as well as the front and the back. Nice. We're going to bring one hand to the heart, pop the other hand on top. This one is always, I find, such a sort of nurturing place to place the hands. And if you feel tempted to give yourself a little massage here, please do. And then just come back to that beautiful, steady flow of breath. And for most of us, it's not particularly comfortable to try and reach the place at the back of your heart. So perhaps just imagine you have a hand placed directly opposite these ones at the front on between your shoulder blades. See if you can imagine that and breathe here. Lovely. So fingertips are now just going to gently find the collarbones. Just give yourself a little massage on your collarbones. And then just rest your hands, just find a comfy place, maybe just kind of dropped fingertips behind you, hands just coming down so your elbows end up in front of you. Just somehow sort of get that contact with the hands and breathe. Nice. And before you release those hands, just take little movements in the head, whatever feels comfy. Ah, lovely. We're going to release down to the floor now. So come on to your backs. I want you just to let those knees hug in. Give yourself a gorgeous hug. Squeeze those knees in. You might feel the urge to bring your chin up. That's your choice. Maybe there's a little rocking. Maybe there's a little circling. Nice. Let's bring those knees to the floor. And we're going to lift the arms up and over the head. Just feel into your ribs. Feel the skin stretching on your tummy. If it feels okay, you might lift those hips up. Just feel the muscles kicking in, the thighs, the glutes. And then just simply coming back down. And just letting those arms drop. Okay, we're going to do a bit more breath work from lying down now. If it feels comfortable, I would like you to bring the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to drop open. You can put your feet as close or as far away from your body as feels okay. If you need support under your thighs or under your hips, grab pillows and blankets so that you're comfy. If it really doesn't work for you, have your knees bent, feet wide, and knees dropping in. So your knees are resting. I'll just give you a moment to get comfy. You choose your position. We're going to come back to just moving the awareness with the breath. So let's have our one hand on our tummy and the other one just resting on the chest, on the heart, and we're just going to simply breathe. Just feeling into the space, feeling into that contact. Okay, so we're going to change up those arm movements now. And our legs. So we're going to have those knees bent. Let's take them hip width distance apart. And I want you just to let the knees drop over to the right. So we're in a little supine twist. Knees are going to the right. Your right hand is just keeping contact with your body. Your left arm, open it up, lift it up above your head. If you can't find the floor, take the arm as wide as you need. I want that arm to be fully, fully, fully supported. I don't want you to be holding on in any way. And we're going to stay here for a little while. So please make sure you're comfy. And we're simply going to close the eyes. And as much as possible, we're going to keep that awareness on the breath. Remember, if the mind does wander, you just very, very gently guide it back to breathing. You might be aware with that lovely focus on breath that the left side is a lot more open in this pose. Loads of space between the ribs. Three more breaths. observing how that feels. And then gently bring yourself back to a neutral position. So those knees can come back up. Let's drop this arm. Just want you to hug your knees back into your chest for a moment. And again, a little rock if that feels good. And then placing the feet back on the floor, hip width distance apart, and allowing the knees to drop over to the left. That left hand can just rest wherever it is comfy on the body. Take your right arm up, drop it down onto the floor. And remember, if it doesn't reach the floor, if it's straight up, isn't working for you, just let that arm drop outwards. Doesn't matter, just as long as you're resting that arm. Close the eyes and just focus on the breath. Draw the awareness back to the breath if the mind wanders. Notice the sensations, particularly in the right side of the ribcage. Three more breaths. Lovely. Slowly bring yourself back to center. Hug those knees in. Just want you just to come up to seated for a moment. Maybe you're rocking along the spine if that feels okay. Very, very briefly coming to tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread those fingers wide. If the wrists aren't happy with you, just step those hands a little bit forward of the shoulders. And I just want you to dip the belly so the tailbone is up, the chin is up. Breathe here. Just feel that lengthening of the underside of the body. And then we're going to curl like a little cat. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. And just for a breath or two, breathe into the outer edge, the upper edge of the back body. And a little bit of wiggle between the two. Arching and rounding. Fabulous. We're coming to seated. Choose your position. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter as long as you're upright. We're going to just do it's a breath called Kapalbhati. It's a bit of an interesting one. It's supposed to be skull shining, meaning it kind of wakes you up. It's really nice. And I thought after our practice this morning, I know you're all at work, so I thought let's get ready for the rest of the day. It's a bit of a funny one. So if you've never done it before, just be open-minded and give it a go. I'm just coming a little bit closer. So this is a passive in-breath. So the out-breath pulses like, so you're almost like you're trying to clear your nose. So it's and it's the in-breath happens naturally. So you're focusing on the out-breath pulse, 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 and you will be breathing in. It will just happen kind of without you thinking about it. And in the tummy, it is a little. If you want to give that a go. Some people, when you're first learning it, if you want to hold your belly, kind of that gives you, that's quite a nice way to feel into it. So let's do that. Let's hold the tummy. So we're going to take a normal breath in through the nose and a normal breath out. We're going to take a breath in and we're going to pulse for 20. So we're going to let the breath out. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to do it again. I'll count this time rather than join you. Breathe in. And then breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathing out. We're going to do the last round. I'll join you again this time. Breathing in and exhale. Exhaling the breath out. Breathing in. And just breathing out. Drop the hands and just sit for a moment. See how you feel. If it was brand new, you might be thinking, what? But what hopefully the sort of desired effects are that when you open your eyes again, there's almost like you're seeing in more vivid colour. It really does stimulate that energy. So I hope you enjoyed that. We started a couple of minutes late. I appreciate you guys might have things on. It is nearly 1:45. I was going to finish with relaxation, but if you need to leave, I won't be offended. But I'll just do a couple of minutes of rest and then we'll get on with the day. So when you're ready, if you're staying, just stretch those legs out. Let the arms rest down by your side. Find the best position for you for rest. Take a beautiful long breath in. Open the mouth and yaw that breath away. Give it a sigh. Give the body a little sigh. Give the body a shrug. Breathing in and then exhale. And just feel the weight of the body resting on the earth. Feeling all the way down to your heels, the backs of your legs, the lower back, your shoulder blades, your arms and your hands, and the back of your head. Just feel the front of the body light and free. And sometimes, guys, even if you only have a minute, if you practice regularly, your body will know that you are able to fully switch off. And it's amazing. I have times when I'm so tired, and even if I just allow 30 seconds or a minute of completely nothingness, I come back energized. So just allow that body to drop, let it go. Maybe feeling that little tingle of prana, of energy in the body after your beautiful practice this morning. So let's take that with us. Let's take a beautiful big breath in. Open the mouth. Sigh the breath out. And then stretch it. Stretch the body out. Arms and feet opposite directions. And then drop in for a hug. Knees cradled into the chest. Little rock here. And just bringing yourself to seated. Let's just let the hands touch the earth. Sit tall, lift the arms up as you breathe in, palms touching, And then exhaling the hands to the heart. May the light in me respect and honor the same light that shines in you. Namaste.